rested, we evolved as well. We will continue to evolve. So, I've been asked to briefly tell you a little bit about a meeting that started, its conception started in 1994, and it was called the National AIDS Treatment Advocates Forum, NATAF. This meeting was formed in 1994 at the time in which a lot of treatments were in the pipeline, and activism, specifically regarding treatment research, was having a big challenge in front of them. There was a new classes of drugs coming to the pipeline. There was a lot of work to be done, and those of us that were involved in research activism, that were involved in the protocol development, that were involved with the researcher, we were able to see what was coming down the pipeline in terms of the kind of drugs, their side effects, the drug interactions, the importance of adherence and the resistance issues that were potentially could be very harmful to us. So, we saw all these issues coming, and beside that, there was a very handful of activists that decided to focus on treatment activism. And I went to work for the National Minority AIDS Council in Washington, and at that time there were very few people of color doing treatment activism.
Thank you.
And welcome! That's great. So, but listen, interestingly, when I went to INMA, I went to try to start this work. And Paul Kawara was the only one that said, do you want to do it? And I said, well, sure. And he said, well, come over and do it from here. But at that time, most of the leaders in our communities, they will tell us, and this is just, they will say, Mosises, what are you doing? We do prevention. Treatment is a white boy. I was like, oh, here we go again. But anyway, so in 1994, I thought that, when I went to start the program, we needed to get new people involved. We needed to empower people of color, that for them to know that they also were capable and able, and they had a community to look after, and that we have to share the knowledge of treatment with them and research. And the same TAG was thinking about it, the same AMFAR was thinking about it, the same Project Inform was thinking about it. So I started to call a couple of people from different agencies, because we didn't have a specific fund available for a national treatment advocate forum. So we all agreed that was needed. Matt was involved there too, when he was in Chicago. And we kind of formed some sort of committee, and started to make a commitment. We'll put $10,000 here, and so on. So that was how we managed to, little by little, start organizing the first NATAF conference in 1994. And I remember we didn't have that much resources, and we were faxing things and trying to accommodate things the best we could, and trying to motivate the community. As I said, during the early 90s, there was a need for that. We had new drugs coming down the pipeline, and we had to make sure that when they were approved, that the protocols, safety and other issues were done well. The development of the drugs were done well, but also that the community, the patients that was going to take this drug, that they were well informed. So there was a mix of doing advocacy work with the researchers, but also a need to doing treatment literacy in the communities. So, something else I wanted to just talk about when I mentioned also the concept of combination treatment. We have all these sequential drugs that were developed one after the other, and then suddenly come the protease inhibitors, and they have to be combined in a cocktail. So that was another many different issues. There was a lot of material for us to do work on. But as time passed and more drugs are developed, we see that we're in a different environment now. We're dealing with a whole set of the same issues, but at the same time, other new issues have been added. And it's very important that this meeting happen and that the concept of what NATAP was with the Catalyst Forum revive. This is, the end of this epidemic is not coming any sooner. And there are issues that could be very challenging for us if we don't keep paying attention to them. I was going to give an example of treatment as prevention. How many of you have heard or know what the concept of treatment as prevention is? That is in itself an issue that is coming in Troy. You saw all the abstracts that came about it. In Mexico, the platform was set in one of the plenaries to bring this as a major issue. And it's a major issue not just here in the state. It's going to be a major issue all over the world. So you the treatment advocates, have a big challenge in your hands. Also, I will say senior, I'll be there soon, but issues related to those patients that have been able to survive for a long time, taking the antiretroviral drugs, and we started seeing, people that develop problems with their bones, premature fractures, and so on and so forth. So the work is there, it hasn't finished. And we need new blood, we need a diverse group of people, and we need the human motivation to do it. This is not just about coming here and have fancy dinners and, all that stuff that could be appealing for some people. But I think this is about remember why we are here. Sometimes I think, I'm tired, really. This has been like 20-something years. I've been lucky, not special, lucky to be here. And when I get like a little I don't know if I want to keep doing this, I just look back and have this picture of this friend of mine that he was just exactly like me in 1995. No T-cells, taking all the drugs, just waiting for those protease inhibitors. And I remember going to see him every day. He was very sick. And he will sit in the same corner of this white couch, and his apartment was all white. And he was smoking one cigarette after another. He was not asleep. And I said, "Craig, how are you doing?" "I'm waiting. I'm waiting." And one cigarette after the other, "I'm waiting." And he died waiting. So I think about it, and I think, I've been lucky enough. So let's just give it a little more effort to this, just thinking about those friends. And I think we all, even if we had those experiences or not, there are many people that deserve that we do this work. And we deserve doing it for ourselves as well. So with that said, I just, I will encourage you to really don't be afraid of what you will be confronted here. In terms of the learning, we all were self-taught. Nobody sat with us to read a pharmacology book. Nobody. We just went there. We were learning by ourselves. We were reading. I remember being with the medical dictionary, trying to understand what this meant. And now you have an opportunity with this forum to learn from those that have been doing it for so long. So take advantage of this and just go for it. Thank you.